With God, good and evil are the exact same thing. If you go all the way back to Genesis, in the garden, God identifies two trees: tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He combined them. He made them the same thing. Because good, in God's eyes, doesn't necessarily equate life. Good is the same as evil. And you were never supposed to know good. You were never supposed to know evil. Just like the woman that's driving a golf cart on the main street with her dog in the passenger seat is probably never supposed to do that. But here we are. That's what happens when you live in Sun City, Arizona. You see things like that. Anyhow, pardon the distraction. Good and evil are the same to God. Dark and light are the same to God. Now, here's the thing. We get into this whole good versus evil argument, but God works through it all. The rain falls on the just and the unjust, the evil, the good, and the tree of life. He waters them both. So the concern that often arises of knowing between good and evil is completely irrelevant. It's actually almost antichrist in a sense, because you're depending on man's wisdom and man's knowledge and man's understanding. Meanwhile, all we were intended to know was life. And only one gives life, and that's God. Everything else is, well, not God. Irony at its best, right? And so the age-old argument of, or idea of having the discernment between good and evil really is actually just discerning what is God and what isn't. That's real discernment. Discernment is going, this is God. And then on the other hand, this is not. However, God reconciled everything to himself. So really the things that we're able to point out that are not God, or not of God, are really the things that are self-seeking and self-pleasing. A great example of what is not God is how you see Adam and Eve, they go and get fig leaves for themselves to cover up their shame and their embarrassment, to fix their sin on themselves. And we have a lot of great programs in society and in the church that help you fix yourself. But it's God who sets someone free through the work of Jesus. And when someone's life encounters Jesus, it's a beautiful thing. It's a marvelous thing. The transformation that takes place. And we often expect like these immediate results, this outward change of things. But that's not always the case. That's not always how it happens. Sometimes it takes a while for that change to be seen. And we're looking for the transition between what we deem as evil to what we deem as good. But again, good and evil are the same. It's the same tree, has the same fruit. later you would hear Paul say, it is that we are not to know any person after the flesh, but after the Spirit, through the tree of life, if you would, and seeing them through the eyes of God. And who they really are through that. Not according to their behaviors or their patterns or even what they say of themselves. But who God says they are. So as you join together with family, I guess with that statement, I'm probably going to put this out today and not on Friday. But as you join together with family, speak to who they really are. Call them into the place of who they truly are, who Jesus truly died for. A son, a daughter, somebody of great value and great worth, that they're a pearl of great price. That's how Jesus saw them. That they're worthy of his salvation because he deemed it as such. I can tell you, if salvation was distributed according to man's ideals and redemption and reconciliation, all given out as man sees, I know in my own life I would have never encountered the Lord. I would have never been able to see his love on display. Because I was a horrible person. Full of anger and deceit. I was incredibly selfish and didn't realize it. I was what in the dating world would be called the nice guy. See, in that paradigm, the nice guy is the most manipulative because they're full of hidden agendas, they're full of hidden intentions, and they're not straightforward. They're not forthcoming about their intentions and what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to everyone around them. Oh, I just care about her. I want to make sure she's... Nah, that's not the case at all. And so I was this nice guy. Secretly, I'd be hurt and mad and angry about nobody treating me the way that I was treating them, and I sat on a pedestal, and really, I was the evil one. It looked good, but I was full of evil. And it just goes to show you, good and evil are wrapped up in the same tree, treated exactly the same. But once I encountered life, I got separated from that tree. That's what God wants to do. He wants to separate us from that tree so that we can walk in his spirit and his truth, so that we can see captives be free. But it starts with us. We got to get free from ourselves. We got to get free from trying to prove something of our worth, of our value, when he already sees it. He already died for it. So there's really nothing for us to try to prove. We don't need to go and fix ourselves. We don't need to go get the fig leaves and put those on. All we need to do is go, hey, so I'm naked. Kind of like Adam and Eve were. And could really use your help. It's better to fall upon the rock instead of having the rock fall upon you. Let's walk this out together. Let's live out the life God intended us to be. To go lift burdens, to break shackles, feed the hungry, clothe the naked. Life is intended to be generous, full of generosity. As you've received, freely give freely. Even the train next to me agrees. Hope you guys have a great day. You can hear the train. It's just going down.